So we had the rare weather delay to the game today, and right around 1 o'clock the lightning and the hail comes in. So we get the delay. Started at 1:37 was the official kickoff. Of course, here they switch over to the Tampa Bay game. You know, there's 7 other games going on. They're like, oh, we'll go right to Tampa Bay, no problem. So then when it did get started, not a whole lot. You know, I don't know if it had anything to do with that. We're getting ready to play. Oh, hold on, go back in the locker room for a half an hour. Don't know if it had anything to do with that or the wet field. The wind was doing its thing, but the Browns did make a field goal. Their first drive looked like they were going to take it down, go up 7-0. They had it down. It was 3rd and 1 inside the 10-yard line. Probably going to pick up a first down the way the drive was going, 7-0 lead. But then somehow a botched snap. Baker did make a nice play, recovering the snap, but then unfortunately gets an intentional grounding, not getting the ball back to the line of scrimmage. It did look like Jarvis Landry was in the neighborhood, but regardless, they have to settle for a field goal, go up 3-0, and that was about it in the first half. The Texans had a couple of drives that looked like they may be going down to take a 7-3 lead, and then one of them, just a bunch of penalties, self-inflicted wounds by the Texans, false starts, maybe there was an offensive pass interference or something. Then they end up having to, they punt on that drive? Whatever happened to that drive? Looked like they were going down to take a 4-point lead. Did not happen. Then they had another drive that ended a 4th and goal at the 1-yard line. Pretty obvious to everyone that Deshaun Watson was probably going to try to run the ball. Cleveland stopped him right there. So Cleveland held 3-0 halftime. And then third quarter, the Texans once again have a nice drive going. They have to settle for a field goal. They missed the field goal. Cleveland somehow staying up 3-0. Meanwhile, the Cleveland offense not doing much. Hunt having a few decent runs here and there. You know, maybe Jarvis had a catch, Higgins had a catch, Hunt here and there with a catch. Not a whole lot going on offense. Baker just barely over 100 yards. Statistically, though, Hunt and Chubb both over 100 yards. Chubb with a touchdown. Could have had a second. And then, so at the end of the third quarter, it's still to 3-0. Then the offense finally gets moving a little bit. The Browns put together a nice drive. Chubb puts it in for a touchdown. They go up 10-0. Could have been 10-3, though, at that point. Really, at this point, with the missed opportunities, the Texans could have had to lead like 17-10. Maybe you give the Browns that touchdown in place of a field goal early. Either way, the Texans probably should have had the lead at this point. They were down 10-0. Then they put a drive together. Of course, that thing happens. They haven't done much all day moving the ball. And then, although they didn't, shouldn't say that. They moved the ball. They just couldn't put it in the end zone. But then this drive they do. Deshaun Watson had a play. Looked for sure like he was sacked. Instead, it completed for over 30-yard completion. One of those drives. And then Cleveland helping out on the next play. Wilson and Harrison, instead of just making a clean tackle, they picked the dude up. Who was it, Brandon Cooks or Fuller? One of them, they picked him up, kind of spiked him on his head. Personal foul, putting the Houston down inside the red zone. Finally, they do. Then on the very next play, touchdown pass from Watson, 10-7. And then as a Browns fan, it's like, oh no, I got to quit reminding myself. You know, they got Stefanski and the boys in there now. It's not really happening like it has in years past. So it's 10-7. The Browns get the ball back. Peoples-Jones, after the Texans touchdown, he cannot return. He can't even catch the kickoff return, let alone. Anyhow, he botches that. Gets it where he covered around the 2-yard line. You're like, this is not a good start. Kareem Hunt runs the ball a few times. They pick up a couple of first downs. Still just wanted to milk the clock. The Texans had one timeout. There was the 2-minute warning. So they get through all that. The Texans burn their timeout. They get through the 2-minute warning. The moment of truth comes. It's third down. Nick Chubb's in the game. They stop him here. The Texans are going to get the ball back. It's going to be 10-7. Nick Chubb runs the ball. He breaks. He goes to the outside, gets around everybody. Looked like he would have broken it for about a 70-yard touchdown. Stopped short of the goal line, but rather than staying inbounds, he cut and ducked out of bounds, stopping the clock. But still, all was right. They not only picked up the first down, they were able to kill the clock on the next play. Game over. Browns 10, Texans 7. Boy, I don't know. The Texans got to feel like they had their chances in this one. The Browns, other than that first drive where they had the botched snap, other than that, they didn't leave a whole lot of points on the field. Myles Garrett getting another half a sack. Sheldon Richardson with a sack. Harrison should have had a sack. Somehow Deshaun Watson got away from him. And then, one of the MVP of the day may have been the pigeon. They claim that pigeon was on the field in between the 20 and 35-yard line for most of the game. At one point, they did show him. He was just chilling. The game's just going on, like right over there. There's 22 guys and a bunch of officials. Well, Pigeon was like, not a lot of action in this game. There wasn't a lot of action in it. What's going on back there? Any action back there? Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in. Any Texans fans, I feel you, man. As a Browns fan, we've had those days. You should have won, but you lost. The Browns are 6-3 now. That 9-10 wins looking pretty good. All right. Boom. We're out of here. And we'll end you with a nice look at that. At least it ain't Pittsburgh.